Welcome to Scanny TV on YouTube once again. Latest and latest updates coming in from the camp of Black Stars team, Black Stars players, and some few quick updates. In this one, we will talk about Addo Seidu. Yesterday, I brought you guys an update that unfortunately, he picked up an injury playing for his side, Stade Rennes, and I told you guys that after 18 minutes, the injury that the player sustained was no good at all. It has come out that it is ACL, and the player is also going to be out for about 6 to 9 months. I said also because we have Addo Sahaku. Unfortunately, he is already done with the surgery and he is going out with 6 to 9 months. Addo Seidu, the confirmed report is that he's also going out, and we will talk a little bit about him and also talk about the Black Stars team. Coach Otto, what is his future? Currently, the Ghana Football Association spokesperson, Mr. Henry Asante has spoken again this time around. He spoke on the final decision on Otto. They will also take the former Ghana Football Association Communications Manager, Mr. Sani Dara. He has also spoken about Coach Otto, Black Stars World Cup qualifiers, whether to sack him or not, and a whole lot of stuff happening in the Black Stars team. Quickly, if you have joined me, you know how we do it. Please like the video. After that, if you are new, subscribe to this channel, put us on post notification so that the latest update you'll be the first person to get and also enjoy. Leave your Twitter comment in the comment box, and after watching the video, share the link so that others will also come here and enjoy the latest on this channel. So before we go to Coach Otto and whether he's going to be sacked or not, the final decision when it's going to be made, and a whole lot of stuff, let me talk a little bit about Addo Seidu. As I said yesterday, it was Stade Rennes, his club side. They traveled away to play against Lille. In fact, his side lost by a goal to nil. As of the time he was leaving the game, it was goalless. On the 18th minute, that is when Addo went in for a challenge. And I told you guys when I was watching the game, per the challenge I saw from him and how the player was taking off the pitch, you could see even from the opposition style, the Lille players came to him, hugging him. You could just tell that it was not a good injury. So yes, the player actually said it yesterday after the injury that he feels it is ACL. So unfortunately, it has been confirmed that the player has sustained anterior cruciate ligament injury and he's had a tear, so he's also going through surgery, and the player is going to be out for at least 6 months. So it's going to be 6 to 9 months, just like Fatai Addo. So both players, their season is over. So this season we will not get any game from Addo again, even through to the World Cup qualifiers. Let's count, or let's calculate 9 months from now. It is really bad. He's going to come around July of next year, and this is really, really bad from the players. So that is it on Addo Seidu. I wish him all the best, and we should pray that they should come as early as possible. Maybe on the 6th month or probably 7th month, they should be fit and come back, because Black Stars players, the last player who had serious ACL is always I talk about him, Daniel Kofichre. So now Kofichre is yet to be back because of that bad ACL injury. It is going to 2 years. The last time he played ball is last year, February. This year, we are in November. Almost the year is ending. So close to 2 years, Kofichre is here to be back from the ACL. He comes back, then he will go again, rehabilitation, a whole lot. So, Addo, we are with you. Stay strong. And I believe you'll be back very soon and even be back stronger, just like Fatai Addo. So these are two big blows that has hit the Black Stars players, and their seasons are over, and that is that. Let's check out the Black Stars team. After Ghana could not qualify to the next AFCON, what is happening? Coach Otto, is he going to be sacked or he's going to be maintained? Last week I brought you guys a lot of updates. As I told you that GFA, Executive Committee or Executive Council, they were set to meet. Last week, Wednesday, they met, but they could not take final decision on Otto. And according to per what they brought out, they are also supposed to meet 2 days time. That is Wednesday. This Wednesday, they are going to meet again on Coach Otto's final decision. Now, before the meeting, they will have to take the report from the technical team. Then they will actually declare it whether they will support or they will back Otto to be the Black Stars coach ahead of the World Cup qualifiers, or to continue his job, or he is going to be relieved of his post. So they actually dissolved the Black Stars Management Committee team. So all those people who were there, they're talking of Aminu Shadow through to Addo, they are all not having any position in the Black Stars team again. So for now, they are going to make decision on Otto. And Ghana Football Association spokesperson, Mr. Henry Asante, he was on News File on Join News, and these were hot, he has to say, concerning that. After that, they will check out what Mr. Sani Dara is also saying on Otto and the Black Stars team.
The first sentence I read, the Black Stars have been abysmal throughout the qualifying process, a faith they undeniably deserve?
Yes, I will say that our games were not good enough per our standard. I am the first to admit that when we lost to Angola, I started feeling uneasy, and I told a number of people, I spoke to some of the players, I spoke to the coach, that this could come back to haunt us. I mentioned it to the president because the African game has got into a level where you tend to suffer if you do not take your home points. As soon as Angola beat us in Kumasi, they grew in confidence, went on to win and win and win, and they went through the entire process without losing a single game. So yes, performance-wise, I wouldn't rate the team highly. I can pick out the game against Angola in Kumasi and probably, the game against Sudan in Accra. The rest were not good enough.
Yeah, so they went through without losing a single game, and we went through without winning a single game.
Yes, that's why I said that I will agree to some extent, to a large extent, that our performance was not good enough. This is not the standard of the Black Stars. In previous qualifiers, 2 games to spare, we are already there. In previous qualifiers, maybe a game to end the qualifying series, the team has already qualified. But that is not what happened this time round, where we were going into the final round of games, hoping Niger will beat Sudan, Ghana will go to Angola and win, and then we'll come back and beat Niger, and then hopefully Angola will go to Sudan and shock them, in Libya. But you try as much as possible to avoid these challenges, by taking your home point. And as soon as you drop home points, especially when you are unable to win away from home, before we beat Mali in Bamako, the team had gone more than 1 year without winning a game on the road. And so you have to consolidate your performance by winning your home games, and then you try to pick some points on the road to be able to qualify. And that is the simplest way of dealing with qualifiers of this nature. Once that did not happen, the pressure will increase, the players will begin to have doubts in their mind, and that is what happened. And then as soon as injuries also set in, you tend to lose the spine of your team. So the factors are quite enormous. And if we are going to deal with one factor after the other, we'll be able to look into the issues scientifically, assess them, look at management role, look at technical role, look at the playing body and their responsibilities. And I think that would help us. But generally, in terms of performance, we were not good enough.
It may not be the best example to use, but imagine the Black Stars were your kid that you have hired a teacher for, and you put them through an exam, and they fail from one to the next, one to the next, one to the next, until they get a Z. What will you do?
You have to continue to invest.
In the teacher?
Unfortunately, no, not in the teacher necessarily. First of all, you need to look into the matter.
But you would drive the teacher away?
If it depends.
You lose your dogs on the teacher when it comes to the gate?
It depends. It's not always the case. That has been what we've done, or the association has done in the last 4 occasions. CK left, Milo came, Milo left, Otto came, Otto left, Chris Hutton came, Chris left, and Otto came back. So you in each of these situations, there are reasons. It's not only about technical reasons on the pitch. Sometimes it's about management off the pitch, which informs your decision or gives you the reason to fire. So the example you gave, if my child continues to fail in the school and he has a teacher who is good, maybe we have to go into the issues by engaging the teacher, engaging the child, sit both of them down, find out what is wrong. If the problem is coming from the teacher, you fire the teacher and get a new teacher to take over. If the problem is coming from your ward, you look at the solution. Is the solution about giving up? Absolutely not. You have to continue to invest. So we are in a very tight situation where we cannot abandon the team, where we cannot say our national team hasn't performed.
I'm not sure anybody is suggesting you should abandon the team.
No, there have been issues about investment. And you need to also look at investment and return. The return after investment, or the benefit after investment. Government will continue to invest, but when it gets to a point where you are not getting the results, what do you do? I think that is where we are.
I can imagine that naturally at the GFA you are very hurt, right?
Absolutely.
Except that people say your comments don't show it. Because if you have the power to hire and you're embarrassed in this manner, the first things you do is to use that power.
Okay, so in the executive council meeting on Wednesday, they took a decision to invite the coach, which is a norm. It's been happening, you know. So the coach will appear before the committee. He needs to submit his report. His report will be perused by the committee. Hopefully his report would be submitted before he appears. So by the time he appears, they have a foreknowledge of what transpired in the qualifying series, whatever challenges whatsoever, he needs to make it known. And once he appears before the committee and answers questions, they will make a firm decision regarding his future. That is the
Okay.
So that is it. So coming in from Mr. Henry Asante Twum, according to him, they are going to sit and decide on what they will do next after Otto Addo and his team, technical team, they present their reports on the AFCON qualifier. Really, really interesting. Now, after him, then we also have Mr. Sani Dara, former communications manager for Ghana Football Association. He has also spoken about Otto Addo and how he feels we should be united going forward as a team. According to him, watching Otto Addo's team play, he feels they are playing better under more than how they were playing under Chris Hughton. So for him, he's advocating for Otto Addo to be backed, stay, and continue to build the Black Stars team. What are your thoughts? Let's listen to what he said. Everything into details, because of copyright issues, sometimes you have to lower the video or make it a little bit small because, yes, you have to respect them, else copyright warriors. But you hear everything into details on what he said on Newsfire as well.
The coach, would have to also carry part of the can because I thought that some of the decisions he took before the qualifiers started or during the qualifiers did not help us. Maybe it's an issue of man management. But that apart, I think that the coach himself exerted himself well towards the qualifying process. The players did their best under the circumstances. And, that culminated in that.
An example of some of the decisions he took going into the qualifiers that you fault. An example.
I felt that, towards the middle of the qualifiers where he made changes to the leadership of the team. We clearly saw Jordan Ayew complaining to Coach Kwesi Appiah, who was a coach of an opposing team. So that tells, if you're an observer from the back, that tells you that obviously there's a problem in the team. If a member of the team goes out there to complain to the coach of the opposing team, it tells you that there are problems within the team. And I thought that could have been better handled. And also to add to the second point of, taking the decision not to come along with Andre Ayew, at the time that he himself had not taken a decision to, exclude himself from the team, and he was back playing. I think he should have left the window open for Andre to make a decision by himself. And that would have endeared a lot of people to him. But you can hear people, a lot of the ex-players saying that the way we retire players is not the right way. I thought that Otto could have better handled those situations. No, I don't agree with that notion. In football, you realize that sometimes longevity does you some good. And the best examples we can go is the Angolan coach, Pedro Gonçalves. He's coming up to about the 10th year. We're in the same group with him. He's coming up to about his 10th year with the team. And that applies to Aliou Cisse, the coach of the Senegal national team. They kept faith with him. Now look at the raft of coaches we've changed over the past few years. And you say that if we give some stability, perhaps if the coach doesn't show or has not demonstrated that he's capable of steering the team in the right path, yes, you would fire him. But he demonstrated consistently that he's the man to steer the team in the right path. Now let's take the points one after the other. Look at the first time he took the team. He took the team when everything was disheveled. Things were haywire. He came, put the team together, qualified against the almighty Nigeria, full of star-studded players, with a team of an average age of about 20 years, and took them to the World Cup. And our World Cup was not disastrous. Imagine that we were the lowest ranked team in that group. We went there, we beat South Korea. We played a very good game against Portugal and unfortunately lost against Uruguay. When you have such a young team, you can say, oh, from there they can grow and be better. Unfortunately, we brought in Chris Houston. He completely botched it. And there was a need for us to rebuild. And to be honest, some of the players also lost form in that intervening period.
I'm surprised you can say what you say about Chris Hughton that you can't say about Addo.
I can't say that about Addo because, look, our play under Chris Hughton, you would admit, was completely disjointed. But if an Addo team is playing, and I've spent the past 3 or 4 days since we bombed out of the qualifiers, watching at the matches again, looking at the World Cup qualifiers, the match we played against Central African Republic and Mali. Mali, we beat them in their home in the World Cup qualifiers to revive our World Cup chances. I see a team that can do well, that can grow. So I'm calling for patience for the coach, for him to be able to build a team of these young players we have, then we can move forward in the right direction and get things done. The coaches, human beings like you and I, will make mistakes, and they will learn from some of these mistakes to be better. The consistent changing of coaches won't help us. We have a young team. Just this week, 3 of our players were said to be the best dribblers in the English Premier League. All of them are maybe before their mid-20s. This is a team that has a lot of potential. So we should not just destroy everything.
You will make the case that Kwesi Appiah should have been kept for the same reasons you are giving for Addo?
At that time, yes, I would have thought that Kwesi Appiah should have been kept. At that time, yes. Okay.
So immediately, if we have any hopes at all in the next,
World Cup qualifiers.
In March. Yes. Yeah. In a minute or two, tell me, what should we be doing if we have to get that? Give us a list.
I think number 1, we should be uniting the football family. I think there are too many factions within the football family. Previously, we used to go to the battlefield as a united front. Some players have grievances. Some members of the football family have grievances. The media has grievances. The FA has grievances. And we have elders in the house. I would think that the first thing we do is to put the family together, unite them.
Okay.
As the first measure. Get the management committee together, a good management committee that can unite the football family. I'm hearing some names that are not uniting factors within the football family. There are lots of people that I'm hearing that, will even evoke anger when their names come up. I think that we should be working towards that and go with the united front in the future. The future will be better, I'm sure.
Nobody in this management should suffer anything for what has happened.
I think there should be changes. The current management, as it is now, I think there should be changes. A lot of things have changed. Coaches have changed. Some of the technical staff have changed. So if persistently it doesn't work, I think the current management should be changed. And we should have a new management team that would be a uniting factor for the entire football family.
Okay, thank you. That is it. So coming in from Mr. Sunny Dara, what are your thoughts? Let me know it in the comment box. Really, really interesting. Ghana football, where is it heading to now? Right now, we have to just hope and pray that Black Glasses will also do us good to win against Nigeria next month and go to the next CHAN, so that we also get the WAFCON, Women's AFCON, that will be coming up, and some few tournaments that Ghana can qualify. But for the Black Stars team as of now, we are out, just like the under-17s and some other national teams. That is it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box. Don't forget to always like the video for me, subscribe, put on the bell for more updates on this channel. This was Kenny TV, and of course, we shall meet later.